According to Section 10 of Contract Act 1950, provides that contracts must be entered into with the free consent of the parties. Even the consent is given, it may not have freely given. There are 5 elements under Section 14, which are coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation, and mistake. With all these cases, the contract have been made. For this video, my group will explain more about misrepresentation, fraud, and mistake.
Next, misrepresentation. According to Section 18 of the Contract Act 1950, misrepresentation can be defined as false statement made by the representation and which induce the other party to enter into the contract. Under Section 18, misrepresentation include the positive assertion in a manner not warranted by the information of the person making it, of that which is not true, thought he believed it to be true. And second, any breach of duty which, without intent to deceive, give an advantage to the person committing it, or anyone claiming under him, misleading another to his prejudice, or to the prejudice of anyone claiming under him. There are 2 main elements of misrepresentation. There must be false or untrue representation, either through a positive statement or some conduct, and representation must induce the misled party to enter into the contract. According to the case Tan Chi Chiu and Anor v. Eastern Mining and Metals Co. Ltd., respondent entered into 2 contracts. The first contract was with the first appellant for the assignment of rights to prospect certain mining land included in an approved application for prospecting permit. The second contract was with the second appellant for the payment of commission for the second appellant's part in bringing about the first contract. Respondent alleged that the second appellant had showed to the respondent's geologist some land which was later discovered not to be included in the approved applications. Therefore, there was a misrepresentation by the second appellant which induced the respondent to enter into the first contract with the first appellant. It was held that there had been a misrepresentation by the second appellant. However, the court decided the respondent company had means of discovering the truth with ordinary diligence. The respondent had entered into the contract without checking the true position at any time despite having a facility to do so. Therefore, the contract was not voidable.
Fraud. Fraud can be defined as a promise made without any intention of performing it to deceive another party to induce him to enter into a contract. There are 2 elements of fraud which are: there must be a false representation or statement made with the intention to deceive, and the representative must have relied on the representation in making decision to make contract. Merely making a false statement which is not relief on the other party does not amount. Burden of proof. It is on the party who claims that there is fraudulent misrepresentation to prove all the elements of fraud. Otherwise, the contract cannot be rescinded. Silence and fraud. The general rule is that silence does not constitute fraud. Only in certain circumstances where a duty is placed on the person keeping quiet to speak out, or if his silence amounts to affirming certain facts, such silence would constitute fraud. Effect of fraud. The effect of a contract being entered into due to fraud is that the contract is voidable as stated in Section 19, subsection 1. Example of case: Weber and Brown. Plaintiff sued defendant for damage in respect of an illegal, false and fraudulent misrepresentation relating to the number of rubber trees on an estate which he purchased. The number of trees represented was more than that which actually existed on the estate. It was held that the defendant had made the alleged misrepresentation